Baby, come on. Woo! What a good monkey. This is who does my hair before I do a shoot.
Some animals are born wild and free and rarely come into contact with humans. Others are born in homes and farms and live with humans for the rest of their lives. And some of them, like the ones we're about to show, live exactly in between. The animals at Animal Track Sanctuary have been rescued from a variety of often traumatic situations. Many have fallen victim to the illegal wildlife trade, abandoned after working in the movie industry, or surrendered by families who realized that they weren't suitable pets. While these animals cannot be completely free for their safety and that of humans, Executive Director Stacy Gunderson has made an unusual decision. When safe and possible, she has chosen to let the animals out of their cages. Stacy's animals cannot be returned to the wild for numerous reasons, but they have become accustomed to human care. For some, depriving them of human interaction would lead to depression and a sense of abandonment.
Okay, ready? All right, Miss America, off you go.
In a secure environment with only trained professionals and volunteers, Stacy's animals are allowed to venture out of their enclosures and enjoy greater freedom.
All right, let's go for a walk. Walkies. The beginning of Animal Tracks, Youth and a Dream. The beginning of Animal Tracks was quite interesting. I had been a movie animal trainer for many years, and I had 2 small children. When I would take my children to the doctors, I referred to them as my little monkeys. And the doctor thought that was highly offensive, that you would call a child a monkey. And I thought, boy, you haven't seen how closely related they really are. So here, we don't buy these animals. They come to us because they wound up in the pet trade, or they wound up confiscated or injured. And so it wasn't their choice to come, but our job is to give them the best possible life. And when they get upset and frustrated, oftentimes it's because I'm not giving enough of my time to them. So I need to stop, and I need to look at myself first and say, okay, what am I not giving this animal? I've been gone for 3 days. She needs some time. So it helps slow my world down, and it puts you in the moment, which is all the animal wants. Most exotic animals suffer from anxiety just like we do. So how crazy for us to think that we set this random idea, 10 by 10 cage is enough for you to live 40 years. I personally couldn't live that way, and so if I can't do it, how can I ask the animals to do it? These guys thrive in a family group. And so that's how we work them at Animal Tracks. I'm part of their family. Lucy is one of their main family members. They always go to each other first. They handle their politics, and then we're secondary. Ray got Lucy's hat, and she's not going to try to touch it because he will confront her for it.
He's destroyed it. Yeah, that hat is gone.
So this is Honey, sweet as Honey, Honey Bear, which is what they're called in the jungle. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna offer her some banana. And once she's interested in the banana, I'm gonna grab that tail, which is choking me out right now, literally. It's a very strong tail. I'm gonna hang her in her tree. I'm gonna let her do what she does best. And this is how she would eat in the wild. So in the 80s, they were made as popular pets. Due to their size, people think they're manageable. It's kind of like managing a vampire at night. Very powerful, irritable vampire. They are wild at heart forever, even an animal that seems calm and loving during the day. Once this banana is gone, I'm gonna take her away from my face, I'll tell you that right now.
These creatures exist at the intersection of nature and culture. They retain memories of their wild origins, making them too untamed for domestic life. Yet, their time in captivity has left them too vulnerable to survive in the wild.
These are our common marmosets, and they are a common problem here because people can just go to Las Vegas and purchase them. Nevada's different than California, and then they bring them over the border and they don't realize it's an issue here. So this is an animal that isn't necessarily nice, even though it's just a little bit bigger than a hamster. Looks very manageable, but looks can be deceiving. And there's certain people they love and certain people they don't love, and I'm one of the people they don't love. They don't want me coming in and getting involved in their politics. Their superpower is to grow the world's rainforests. So putting them in our homes where they're not going to last very long and perpetuating the illegal pet trade really doesn't help them as a species in any way, shape, or form. Hi, girls. I heard that you were gonna... Oh, you got me by the hair. It's okay, I'm not coming in. You're so angry.
A domestic animal is bred over generations and adapted to living with humans. Wild species belong in other worlds, outside the human sphere, and all of their senses and instincts are tuned to their natural way of life.
This is an animal that is a really bad choice for a human pet. We're just not qualified. The average person is not qualified to take care of a kangaroo. They're even difficult for people that know how to care for them. They're very delicate with stress. They can get something called capture myopathy. So with enough stress, it causes, you can almost kill a kangaroo. Chasing them, scaring them, loud noises. So this is really not a good choice for pets. People get them. This animal was a confiscation from a celebrity. It's very important that these guys have a place to exercise. This is their bedroom, if you will, but they get to come out and get their hop on here at Animal Tracks every day. They're an amazing creature to sit and watch. And we want to share them with the general public. I think the way that you teach people to care is you touch their heart.
Stacy believes that educating others about the individuality, needs, and uniqueness of these animals is a crucial first step toward fostering personal responsibility in conservation efforts.
Just because you can buy a pet doesn't mean you should. It might not be good for your lifestyle. It might not be good for your community. Let's talk about buying a tiger. Does anybody think that's good for your community if the tiger gets loose? But hey, it was a great moment when you brought that tiger home for 10 minutes, right?
I love this place so much. It means the world to me, and now I live here, so I'm here 24/7. And couldn't think of a better place to live. People have to realize that these animals, they have souls just like we do. They're sentient beings, they're smart. They're way smarter than we give them credit for. In a lot of ways, they're way smarter than us. That bond that you can have with a wild animal that chooses to have that bond with you because it's not your choice, it's incredible. All animals, unfortunately, they have that very, very cute factor when they're babies, and they, you know, that the motherly instinct comes out in people and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to have that animal. And they have the best intentions, but they don't have the knowledge to care for them properly. I like to be of service to them because there's no judgment, there's no criticism. It's just they are very pure souls and they let you know how it is every single day. And that's a challenge. Sometimes it can be, but just the love that they give you in return, it's just, it saves me every day. It's what makes me keep going. They're my zen. That's where I feel this place is like my church, my sanctuary too. This guy right here was a fur farm fox, so he was going to be a coat last November. And they keep them in horrible conditions. He's only 1.5 years old. And they would pelt every November because that's when they have their full winter coat. He was living in a elevated wire cage with the wooden box for him to sleep in. His front teeth, even though he's only 1.5 years old, are completely worn down because the fur farm would stick tin cans of fish, like sardines or tuna fish or whatever, in the cages for these guys to eat, but they wouldn't open them. So they had to figure out how to open them themselves with their teeth. He has his back molars, but all of his teeth, even though he's only 1.5 years old, are completely worn down. The very first day that I met him, he let me pet him. And he hasn't ever once tried to bite. He is still very shy and cautious, as I would be for the rest of my life. But we've already been able to, he's been here for 3 months now, and we've been able to leash him up and take him out on walks. So he is incredibly resilient.
Chrissy is our mother nature. She is probably the least aggressive monkey we have here. One, because she's got such a big brain. She's a really good thinker. She's analytical. That's for you. What do you think? Is it good? You want to save it for the bunnies?
Yeah.
More of those. So she's working mom and dad right now, and she's getting more corn nuts out of the deal. And if that's not human-like, what is?
Animals choose certain people because they like their scent, gender, looks, or for other reasons all of their own. And at Animal Tracks, the tasks and routines are sensitive to such affinities. A sanctuary revolves around encounters between very different beings, encounters that gradually become relationships. This process involves mutual learning, play, curiosity, collaboration, and negotiation.
You think when you come to an environment like that and you coming over here to, give them your service. I'm helping these animals, I'm helping, the world or whatever, and in actuality, they're helping you. They're helping you understanding about respect, about honor, about love, unconditional love, about unity even, like the monkeys, how they can get something between each other and fight, but at the end of the day, seconds later, they're like, cool, we're family, and if human beings can only do that, right, that we can learn from them, that we can have our differences, we can have our disagreement, but we don't divide, you unite even more, and they taught me so much, and I think that's what's beautiful about these animals. If we were the cause to take them away from their natural environment, their home, the least that we can do is to provide them a life that is close to it. So I think the biggest challenge would, for me at least, will be the lack of resources.
Well, I think we have a lot to learn from what they have to offer us as far as how we can treat each other and how we go about our relationships. Such a beautiful thing to see what they do given their circumstances, and what they choose is almost always love. And the fact that they would choose that above everything else is truly amazing, and we only get so many moments as people to just stop and take things in, and they really remind you of what's important.
My very favorite part of this work is learning from our owner, Stacy. She is a wealth of knowledge, and she is better than any PhD animal behaviorist and scientist that I've been so lucky to work with. The goal is really education and helping the public and making sure the animals are comfortable. So if they don't like a volunteer, or if you're having a challenge with a certain job, or just getting frustrated maybe, it just takes some time. And then I feel like you kind of will get it figured out eventually. Just participating in taking a photo with a chained animal or riding an elephant, you're helping with these illegal pet trades and illegal trafficking and animal abuse. So just learning what activities really contribute to that, and what activities you can do, like coming to sanctuaries like Animal Tracks, that if you come and you bring your friends and family, they have so much fun, but you also leave with education, and you leave with like a very happy heart, because you know that you've help these animals and the animals are happy and they're getting taken care of.
We are intrigued by animals because they are different from us humans, yet we also see likenesses and feel a sense of kinship. Animals appear in our dreams, children's stories, and films, captivating us with their charisma, unique abilities, and intriguing strangeness. Animal sanctuaries like animal tracks exist largely due to the irresponsible exotic pet industry. To change attitudes and practices, we must first understand the impulses that draw us to these animals and how we can both respect and redirect those impulses.
I have people come here all the time, I'm gonna buy a monkey. Well, here's the reasons you shouldn't. And if they still say, I'm gonna buy a monkey, I say, okay, well, I'll build another cage because it'll be here sooner rather than later. The domesticated animal is an individual. You understand that it has intelligence, it has personality, but we tend to treat exotic animals as a species as a whole. It's amazing to me that people don't give exotic animals the same empathy that they would give their dog and cat. Literally, if people stop buying them, it will stop giving them value. If there's no reason to take them out of the wild, then we won't. And so literally, that's where we gotta get people on board. Ow, don't take my thumb. My thumb is not part of the food. Okay, we have a feeding frenzy going on right here. Bad pet, don't get one of these. So our animal ambassadors are caught between worlds. They are not wild animals. And we talk to a lot of people. We have some primatologist friends who study monkeys in the wild, and our monkeys behave differently. And they're not zoo animals because they do get to come out of their enclosures. So we do have animals caught between cultures. And the way we try to bridge that gap is we study their culture, and of course they study ours. They're very intelligent, and we meet in the middle. Why do we love animals so much? I think animals touch our wild side. We want to feel the wild. So we want people to feel wild here, but we want you to feel wild in a respectful, safe way. These animals are stuck here, and our job is to give them the best possible life. We are not a petting zoo. We are not going to exploit these animals by charging you money so that you can sit next to it and take a picture. We are going to give them the best possible life and let you watch it. And it is a beautiful thing to watch. And hopefully this will inspire us to keep nature wild.
In our time, where farm animals are pressured by productivity and human consumption, and where wild animals are dwindling in numbers, our relationship with them is evolving. Gradually, we are shifting from controlling, exploiting, and instructing other animals to protecting them, caring for them, and learning from them. We recognize their existence as more precarious and precious. Our success as humans is measured now by the thriving of other beings. At animal tracks, like in other sanctuaries around the world, the animals are teaching their human caretakers how they wish to be treated and how to connect with the wildness within us all. These sanctuaries serve as laboratories of coexistence, where humans learn to respect the sacredness of life and the individuality of animals. Such places guide us to become protectors instead of exploiters, nurturers rather than abusers. Although there is no definitive recipe for handling these animals, if we listen, they tell us how to be the best humans we can be for them. And hopefully, they will teach us humans how to live together in between worlds.
The wolves are going to sing for us. Hold on. The song of my people.